Hello, this is Marguerite Dubai again. I keep saying this, but I'm just going to reiterate. Film editing is really not my passion. I'm sorry. Feel free to not actually watch the video because it's literally just going to be me sitting here in my room because, like, I just don't. I just got other stuff I want to do. Like, I just want to get this out, like verbal diarrhea, and then just continue on with my life. So please forgive me for that. The reason why I wanted to make a video, there's all this conversation about racism against foreigners here, and they just elected this very interesting prime minister. In Kyoto specifically, there's been a lot of talk about overtourism and how the infrastructure is dealing with it and that kind of thing. I came to live in Kyoto at a very interesting time where everything is kind of unprecedented. I'm getting a little tired of that word, honestly. I feel like I've been living in unprecedented times since I was born, and I'm a little bit like, I'd love to be bored. I wanted to give my perspective considering that I am a foreigner, but I have a very particular set of circumstances why I'm here. I am Palestinian American. I was born and raised in America. I lived in San Francisco and then I lived in New York for about 20 years after that. I've been living in Japan for the past about year and a half. I came here on an artist visa. I made another video about that previously, about how I got the artist visa if you're interested. My perspective is going to be very specific to my situation, meaning yes, I can pass as white. Even though I might be white passing, I have never felt like I belonged in America. I passed for white until I opened my mouth. And then all hell broke loose. And one of the reasons why I wanted to move to Japan was because a lot of times Japanese people have not had strong opinions about Palestinians or Arabs. A lot of them who I've talked to are mostly interested in cultural differences, like, oh, what kind of food do you eat, or like, what, how is your family, and that kind of thing, which is, to me personally, refreshing compared to many years of what felt like systemic racism in America. While I am living in Kyoto, I am not living in a particularly touristy area. That's the first thing. I'm kind of in a flyby zone. It is near Arashiyama, which is to the far west, but it's not Arashiyama. It's just a little bit out of the way. My particular area is mostly family oriented. It's a lot of houses. It's a lot of older people who speak in a really thick Kansai dialect, and that I am still trying to totally decipher. To be honest, even I, being here over a year, I've noticed the uptick in tourism. So have I come across any sort of questionable things? Yes, I have. Particularly, not anything that's super confrontational or anything, but for example, like, while I have a lot of people here in my neighborhood who have seen me around and we talk and we say hi and that kind of thing, like very neighborhoody, which I really love, there will occasionally be particularly older people who will kind of give me the side eye and be wary toward me. I once had an older person really dramatically, like, I was at the nearby supermarket just down the street, and I was going up the escalator, and older gentleman in front of me saw me and really dramatically just like went up a few steps and looked back at me like, I don't want to be near you. I've definitely had older people do the shoo away thing. Which, like, okay, is it enough to bother me? Not really. It's enough for me to note. I can't say I've been particularly perturbed by it. I mean, I also grew up in the States. I lived in New York for a long time, where I still very much feel safer here than I ever have in America. In the US, I dealt with older racist people. It's not like this is a new thing. But also, sorry, I'm under my katatsu. So, like, I'm having a great time telling a story. For me, there's also the added layer, like I said before, that I did not feel like I was fully American. I mean, even though, yeah, I have American mannerisms. I can cuss like a sailor, like a New Yorker. I have an American accent. I have stuff like that going on. Obviously, like, occasionally I will walk down the street and someone will look at me, but I don't care. Like, I personally just don't care. And again, this is my experience. I have not felt like I was really in the American club anyway. And so it's just sort of a visual reminder here as opposed to a mental reminder that I'm not part of the club here. But at the same time, I've definitely found my people. Like, I'm talking about not being part of the club, but I mean, I've talked to like many Japanese people here who I can tell them my story and they get it and they're sympathetic. They just like want to know. And to me that is very, very refreshing. And that supersedes any kind of racist anything that I've dealt with. And I also have to say that yes, I opened with these negative aspects, but it's such it's so few. It's so few. In my experience, it seems to me that people are mostly concerned about whether or not I speak Japanese and they can communicate more than what I am. So like, and obviously there's the visual trigger that they don't know, and to be entirely fair, so like my Japanese is very good. I can get by. I just start every conversation with, I'm sorry, I can understand okay, but I can't speak very well, because that's where I'm at. And usually the response is, oh okay, and then they just like talk like normal. I mean, usually they slow down a bit, which again, I need that. So I'm not going to diss people for slowing down their talking for me because, I'm still new. I partially wanted to make this video because I feel like that there is a lot, in my opinion, a lot of misconceptions about how people are here and how people behave here. Particularly the racist bent. Like, even before I moved here, I had so many Americans telling me like, oh, Japanese people are racist and da 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 da. And I felt like America is very racist. So there was a lot of not like the words will come out of my mouth. I felt like there was a lot of pointing fingers that actually looking at themselves, introverting, without looking at themselves and seeing how, yeah, American society is racist too. A lot of European societies are racist too. Western society, like so many places are racist. And like the idea that this place is especially racist, I still don't see it. I still don't see it. And I'm not saying that there's no racism. I don't want to glorious Nippon things, but like it's like different flavors. It's also like the thing when people talk about the sexism here, where it's like, yeah, there's sexism. I mean, like that's like and the government is very conservative, obviously. Like what's her face was like cheering Trump yesterday, so like what the hell. But at the same time, it's a different flavor compared to the sexism that I've experienced in America. And as an aside, I really do feel safer here. I feel safer here in regards to if I piss a man off here, I don't feel like I'm going to get attacked. Either, I'm not going to get physically attacked by doing that. Whereas in America, especially in New York City, I definitely had that fear pretty regularly. Dudes are going to be dudes anywhere. I want people to understand that this place is complicated like every other place. People are still going to be people. It's also what your heart it also depends on what your heart feels, right? Like finding the place that you feel the most comfortable despite what other people say. And here I do feel the most comfortable even with these upcoming problems and even with the rising concerns about over-tourism and then pointing fingers at non-Japanese people and that kind of thing. I feel like that there's enough good here and there's enough connection here that I've been able to make the whole experience worth it. And so I just really wanted to say that. I imagine there's going to be a lot of people who are going to watch this and say that, like, I'm a stupid gaijin, or like, I don't know what I'm talking about, or wait till you live there for 3 more years or whatever. And like, I can only speak for myself. I'm not speaking for anybody else. I have never spoken for anybody else. This is just my truth. Everybody gets to have their truth, and that is my truth. I really think that's the crux of it, is that there's a fear of people not being respectful and and I mean, honestly, I've experienced it too. I've seen a lot of disrespectful tourists doing really bizarre like eating at a jinja. Like, don't like shrines and temples are shrines and temples. They are religious places. Don't eat there. Admire it, enjoy it, have a good time at it. Just don't eat. Would you go into a church and then just start screaming and like eating on the steps and bring out your Sammy and like, I really think that's it. I think it's just a matter of respect and reaching out and getting to know people. So that's what I gotta say.